Folks, Carl, who's wrestling with a smart toilet seat, Henry, who's secretly got his phone's font turned up to the max, and George, who suddenly realized he needs to hold his breath when he bends down to tie his shoes. Let's start with this. You know what? The order of decline of the organs of a man's entire body after 50 will be your trailer for the future. Prepare to witness how your body parts play out in a real-life version of Mad Animal City. Some people leave work early, some work desperate overtime, and others simply swing for the fences. The first to bear the brunt is always the most sensitive department, the prostate gland, which is said to be more difficult to serve than a wife. This little nugget that hides under the bladder is like the shower head you've had in your house for 20 years, silent when it's time to run, but vocal when it's time to wind down. According to the Mayo Clinic, 60% of men experience a nighttime bathroom marathon at this stage, and it's recommended that you swap out your slippers for ones with a GPS locator. After all, searching for a toilet in the dark can count as nighttime orienteering. But don't panic, a 45-minute brisk walk every day can increase the efficiency of this capricious water valve by 38%, and the zinc in pumpkin seeds is a natural plumber, so remember to replace your beer mug with a can of pumpkin seeds, and your bladder will thank you for this wise choice. Just as you're about to negotiate with your prostate, the power supply at Body HQ starts to get upset. The heart that used to chase a bus for 3 stops is now wheezing like a bellows when you climb 2 flights of stairs. It's not that you've weakened, it's that your blood vessels are engaged in a campaign of nonviolent non-cooperation. Harvard Medical School's latest report shows that the speed of atherosclerosis in men accelerates by 2.7% per year after the age of 50, which is equivalent to downgrading blood vessels from a highway to a gravel road in the countryside. One 53-year-old accountant managed to dial back the age of his blood vessels by 5 years by eating salmon sashimi for breakfast every day, and now his wife always complains that the refrigerator smells like fish, but he justifies it by saying it's the perfume of middle-aged men. When you miss the 8-pack abs in front of the mirror, the musculoskeletal system is staging a great escape. After 30 years of age, the annual loss of 1% of muscle. 50 years of age, directly open double-speed mode biceps shrinking degree is comparable to the lollipop licked by bare children. Even more brutal is the bone density test report. The doctor will look at the film and say your bones are a lot like wafers. We recommend calcium supplements with milk, not coffee. But don't rush to book a bed in a nursing home. Recently, silver-haired iron lifting clubs have become popular in gyms, and a retired physics teacher has used resistance bands to develop an arm circumference capable of carrying buckets of water. The secret is to use the Terminator movie as the fitness BGM, and he says that every time he squats, he imagines that he's fighting against the Skynet system. The eyes are not shy about joining the retirement reserves at this time. One day you realize that you need to perform an arm stretch to look at your cell phone, and the words on the menu look like they've been mosaicked. This is not presbyopia, is your lens in the performance art. Johns Hopkins University study found that after the age of 50 years old, myopia deepened by 0.5D per year. It is recommended that the phone fonts to the grandfather mode, ebook readers too. Change the background to high contrast. I know an old pilot brother who turned his tablet into a telescope mount, and now he swipes his TV shows like he's operating a fighter jet's dashboard. My ears are playing selective reception games, and high-frequency hearing loss has turned conversations into puzzle-solving challenges. His wife's words, "Remember to buy milk," have become, "Do you want to fix the Wi-Fi?" And the sound of birds chirping has become a symphony of electromagnetic noise. It's not back of the ear, it's your auditory system playing a survival game, focusing on protecting the ability to communicate in the lower frequency bands. Suggest developing a new communication protocol with your partner. Write important things on the kitchen chalkboard and switch to low and mid-frequency sound waves for urgent notifications, like banging on the honey pot. There's an old audiophile who installed Bluetooth modules in his hearing aids and now proudly says, "I've got a limited edition human sound system." The digestive system protests most bluntly, and the once steel stomach now shudders at the sight of chili chicken wings. Digestive enzyme production plummets 30% after age 50, and the diversity of gut flora rivals that of the Sahara Desert. That's why the same burger that was an energy packet when you were young is now the rallying cry for the toilet flush. It is recommended that yogurt and kimchi pots be kept as heirlooms, and a Chinese chef has developed probiotic Dan Dan noodles, which are now more sought after in his Sichuan restaurant in the senior community than the Netflix milk tea shop. When you're looking for your car keys in the living room, don't blame your brain for your old hard disk. The hippocampus is shrinking by 1% every year, and your memory palace is being dismantled. You can't remember last week's date, but the details of the deciding goal in the 1983 World Cup are as clear as data. A University of California experiment proved that dancing the tango is better for preventing dementia than memorizing pi, provided you don't step on your partner's feet. A retired programmer developed a grocery memory game, and now he plays a real-life version of Resident Evil when he goes to the supermarket. The list is all in his head, and there are always surprises at the checkout. Last but not least is the liver, the silent workhorse whose detoxification efficiency is discounted after the age of 50, but never turns on the red light. The time it takes to metabolize a glass of beer goes from 2 hours to the length of an up-and-down movie, so it's advisable to replace your spirits collection with a collection of sparkling water. An old codger who puts more than 50% ice in his whiskey, which he describes as workers' compensation insurance for his liver, gets laughed at by his drinking buddies, but the liver function index on his medical report gives him the last laugh. Tip: the ultimate survival rule. Think of your annual checkup as car maintenance. Missing a checkup could miss an organ's SOS signal. Gym is not the patent of young people. The latest trend is silver hair CrossFit. Using grocery bags as dumbbells is really punk. Make peace with your body. Wringing knees are your own BGM. Getting up at night is a privilege of stargazing, and forgetting your name can be collectively referred to as honey. Keep the desire to explore. Frank 78 is getting his drone license and says, "Parts get old, curiosity is always new." Egg at the end. The next time your grandchildren ask you how you stay active, hold up your smartwatch and announce Grandpa is competing in the world's longest human endurance race. Of course, 50 is not the beginning of a downhill climb. It's the perfect time to shift gears and get going again. After all, the latest research shows that the human happiness curve bottoms out at 53, and you're now standing on the rising wing of the U-curve. Subtitled Egg. The middle-aged man's secret weapon. A lawnmower with a heart rate monitor. A cigar box that tells you to drink your water. A fishing stool that measures bone density.